Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
Gloria pondered for a moment before replying, "Well, we'll see when the time comes. If there really was nothing else going on, a trip could be nice." "Deal," Daniel said with a laugh. Gloria rolled her eyes at him. "I haven't agreed to it yet." "You'll go." Daniel was quite confident. Seeing Daniel's demeanor, Gloria couldn't help but laugh. After Nicole and Jared dropped off Nolan and Lana, they arrived at Riddle Corporation. As the car stopped, Nicole looked up at Jared with a smile. "I'm heading up." Jared gently squeezed her hand, softly saying, "All right, I'll come to pick you up after work." Nicole agreed, then opened the door and got out of the car. After watching the car drive away, Nicole turned to enter the company and happened to run into Lulu. "Jared has left, but no worries, I'll keep you company," Lulu joked, linking her arm with Nicole's. Nicole gave Lulu a look, feeling amused. "Then I guess I should thank you." "Don't mention it," Lulu replied with mock seriousness. As they chatted and laughed, the two entered the company. Meanwhile, Jared leaned back in his car seat. His tone was cold as he asked, "Any news?" "We've found out. The man's name is Aquila, the bodyguard of the Eastern Falcon's leader. It appears he has betrayed his leader and is now following Everett," Max replied. He suspected that was how Everett managed to kidnap the leader of the Eastern Falcon and take control, making the Eastern Falcon obey him. "He does have some tricks up his sleeve." A trace of coldness flickered through Jared's eyes. He had been arranging for people to investigate the Eastern Falcon matter, especially how Everett managed to kidnap the leader of the Eastern Falcon, which remained a mystery until now. Aquila is highly skilled in combat and always operates alone. If he decides to hide, it'll be very difficult to track him down. "At this point, probably only Everett can contact him," Max said with some gravity. "Are you sure he's acting alone?" Jared's eyes narrowed, his voice icy. "Aquila never works with others. As for whether there are more people around Everett, we can't be certain. Since only Aquila has shown up, and since Aquila always works alone, it's hard to investigate further." Jared fell silent for a moment, then said with deep implication, "He will show up eventually." If they couldn't find him, then there was no need to keep looking. They could just wait for him to appear. "Yes, I'll keep an eye on Everett," Max responded seriously. Back at Riddle Corporation, Nicole and Lulu had already made their way to the office. Last time Ella said that Everett gave him 3 days, which would be today. "I wonder if Everett has approached Ella yet," Lulu said, somewhat anxiously. They had been waiting for this day for a long time. "Patricia will let us know if there's any news." Nicole was not as hurried, feeling that at this point, Everett might be the one who was more anxious. "We'll just have to wait then," Lulu sighed. Nicole smiled, a curve playing on her lips. "Don't worry about it anymore. Mom mentioned this morning that Steve might not be able to come to the office for a while. So, I was thinking of handing over Steve's responsibilities to you." "Oh sure," Lulu readily agreed, understanding that Sally must be close to her due date. "You've had some experience with Steve's tasks before, and we haven't involved him in any new projects lately. So, taking over shouldn't be a problem for you," Nicole reasoned, feeling that Lulu was the right choice. "Don't worry, I can handle it." Knowing that Steve would soon be on leave, she had already prepared herself to take over his duties. She had also thought it through. There was so much going on in the company, and with Nicole needing to deal with Everett's matters, taking some of the load off seemed like the only thing she could do. "That's the best. When Steve comes back from his leave, he should be able to easily resume his work," Nicole said, pleased. Lulu nodded. "I'll try to get all the work done, so it'll be easier for Steve when he returns." "Good, and if it gets too tough, you can always ask someone for help." Nicole worried that Lulu might be overwhelmed with too much work. "I understand," Lulu reassured her, not wanting Nicole to worry, but she was determined to do her best. Inside Ella's office in Bay Corp, the atmosphere was tense and oppressive. As Ella entered his office, he found Everett sitting in his chair. "When did you get here?" Ella frowned, trying to keep his tone even. "I've been waiting for you for a while." Everett leaned back in the chair, crossing his legs and glancing at Ella. "The 3-day deadline has passed. What have you decided?" "I thought my lack of response over these 3 days would have made my decision clear to you," Ella sighed. "Aren't you always the clever one?" "So you're refusing," Everett chuckled. "Well, that's a shame." "Not really, I don't see it as a loss," Ella paused before adding. "So, can you leave now?" "Sorry." Everett tossed a document onto the desk. "The one leaving should be you." Ella feigned confusion. "What do you mean?" "Take a look." Everett's gaze fell on the document he had just placed on the desk, slowly saying, "This is a contract. You've transferred Bay Corp to me." "I've never transferred Bay Corp, especially not to you," Ella argued vehemently. "Leave now, or I'll call security." "No rush. Why don't you take a look at the document first?" Everett suggested. Ella, skeptical, picked up the document and after reading it, looked up in shock. "What is this?" "Nothing much, just that Bay Corp is no longer yours," Everett reiterated. "No, even if it was a transfer, I wouldn't give it away for free." Ella shook the document forcefully. "Where did you get this fake document? Aren't you afraid of a lawsuit? You might want to notice your signature and seal on it," Everett shrugged. "If you want to make a scene, it seems you would be the one facing a lawsuit." "Let's see about that. Who sells something without getting paid? Let's see whom the judge believes," Ella fumed. "Ella, are you missing the point?" Patricia's voice rang out as she entered the room. "Why are we talking about money and not the document?" Standing next to Ella, Patricia looked indifferently at Everett and said, "Mr. Wright, Ella never transferred the company. Does this document really hold any legal effect?" "With a signature and seal, how could it not?" Everett countered. "In that case, we'll see you in court," Patricia nodded solemnly, showing they believed Everett but were not ready to back down. Everett's eyes narrowed slightly as he was aware that Patricia was no simple character. Given her statement, he wondered whether it was a psychological tactic or if they possessed other evidence. It was clear that Ella was at a disadvantage, yet their insistence on following legal procedures made him feel somewhat uneasy, concerned he might have overlooked something. "Fine, let's proceed with legal action." "I'm calling the police right now," Ella said, clutching the document Everett had given him. This was evidence, after all. A flicker of unease crossed Everett's mind, sensing something was amiss. With a slight narrowing of his eyes, Everett asked again in a serious tone, "Are you sure about this?" "Humph, we'll see," Ella responded, unwilling to show weakness. Everett forced himself to remain calm, knowing he wouldn't get a resolution today and had no choice but to leave. Casting a meaningful glance at Ella, Everett could only say, "Next time we meet, I hope you can still smile." After speaking, Everett left Ella's office in strides. He was indeed puzzled deep down, preferring not to entangle further with Ella until he had time to think. Watching Everett leave, Ella finally exhaled, wiping his forehead. Finally gone. Scared. Patricia glanced sideways at Ella. Ella snorted. "Scared of him? I was just worried he'd take the evidence." "Now that it's in your hands, he could also claim you forged it," Patricia retorted, glancing at Ella. "Otherwise, why would Everett leave the document behind?" Ella's face paled slightly. "So, all that effort for nothing?" "Not necessarily," Patricia's eyes narrowed, her tone full of meaning. It seemed Everett was merely puzzled by Ella's attitude. As long as they followed the plan, there shouldn't be any problems. Seeing Patricia's calm demeanor, Ella nodded. "It looks like we need to be even more cautious going forward." "I'm going to see Nicole," Patricia said, glancing at Ella before leaving the office. Ella sighed, looking down at the document in his hands with disdain before tossing it aside. He had thought that with this document, they would have an additional piece of evidence. He hadn't considered why Everett would leave such evidence behind so easily. It seemed Patricia was right, after all. Ella, are you okay? Doretta's voice rang out. Ella looked up to see Doretta standing at the door and replied with a neutral expression. I'm fine. Did you need me? Oh, I saw that person leaving just now. He looked a bit scary. Were you discussing a project? Is something not going well? Doretta appeared concerned. It's okay, Ella played along, seeing that Doretta pretended to be unaware. Oh, that's good then, Doretta comforted Ella. If my cousin needs help, you can call on me anytime. Ella nodded. Yeah. I'll leave you to it then, Doretta said politely, nodding before she left. Watching Doretta's retreating figure, a slight smile played on Ella's lips. Let's see how long you can keep this up. Riddle Corporation. Patricia arrived at Nicole's office. How did it go smoothly? Lulu asked Patricia with a smile, clearly expecting that everything had gone according to plan. It's going smoothly so far, Patricia recounted the details before adding, I came here to double-check if we need to make any changes to our plan. Nicole's eyes narrowed slightly, her gaze turning thoughtful. No need. At this point, it was all about psychological warfare. Given Everett's suspicions, he was likely to have Doretta keep an eye on Ella. As long as Doretta relayed information that Everett expected to see, there was no need for them to alter their strategy. Everything now depended on Ella. Doretta would surely report his every move to Everett, who would use this information to decide his next steps. As long as Ella acted as predicted, Everett would proceed with his plans, and their opportunity would arise. So, what we need to do now is still wait? Lulu asked, slightly furrowing her brows. Yes, Nicole nodded. But this time, the wait won't be long. She believed that even if they could afford to wait, Everett was becoming impatient. Right, Everett seems to be getting restless, especially after the impact of the recent events on him, Patricia said, her expression turning serious as she looked at Nicole. Ms. Riddle, have there been any updates on Aquila? Right now, we've only been able to track down him alone. Whether there are others involved remains unclear, and he's gone into hiding. They must be well acquainted with our way of doing things. Nicole's expression carried a weight of seriousness. Do you mean to say we have a mole on our side? Lulu's face paled, her expression filled with concern. Nicole shook her head. Not likely. It's more that Everett has caught on that Zane has been assisting me. It wasn't so much that they were familiar with them, but rather, Aquila was well versed in the methods of Zane's people, probably because they had been under surveillance before. Nicole knew it was only a matter of time before Everett realized she didn't have such capable people at her disposal and would naturally think of Zane. So, Zane's people could only surprise them this time. Everett would be on his guard from now on. Nicole, what are our chances of success this time? Lulu worried. If Everett was prepared, he might be even harder to deal with. As long as he doesn't change his plans, we will definitely succeed, Nicole stated with conviction. After all this time, she could not allow failure. Everett must not continue to triumph. Ms. Riddle, if there's nothing else, I should get going. Patricia was somewhat concerned about Ella. Without her, she wasn't sure if he could handle Doretta. Doretta might seem harmless, but her tactics were formidable. Such an enemy should not be underestimated. Go ahead. Nicole, discerning Patricia's thoughts, smiled and nodded her approval. For some reason, meeting Nicole's gaze made Patricia's cheeks warm, and she quickly turned and hurried away. What's the rush? Doretta isn't going to eat Ella, Lulu couldn't resist teasing, quickening Patricia's pace even more. She's obviously worried but always pretends not to care, Lulu laughed, shaking her head. Nicole's gaze returned to Lulu. You always have that insatiable gossip spirit. I'm just concerned about them, Lulu shrugged, indifferent to others' affairs. Then, raising an eyebrow, Lulu teased. You seem so calm. Aren't you afraid that such a capable assistant might belong to someone else in the future? What does it matter? As long as they are happy, that's good enough. Besides, even if Patricia wasn't with Riddle Corporation, she was still part of the Riddle family. Right, Lulu nodded in agreement. If two people could find happiness together, that truly was enough. Meanwhile, Everett had returned to his company. Upon entering his office, Everett asked with a dark expression, "Any news?" Doretta mentioned that Ella doesn't seem as composed as he appeared. "It's likely he was just putting on an act in front of you." After we left, Patricia immediately went to Riddle Corporation, probably to discuss their strategy, Jerry reported. "Humph." Everett gritted his teeth. "Keep a close eye on Ella." The more he thought about today's events, the stranger they seemed. Ella appeared genuinely unconcerned about Bay Corp, even challenging him to a lawsuit. Is he really not afraid? Hexton has already relayed the message to her. "She'll send any news immediately," Jerry responded. Everett sat down, his gaze dark and thoughtful. Now that he had control over Bay Corp, Ella seemed unwilling to compromise. Does Ella want to give up Bay Corp for Nicole, or does he have other plans? Why do I feel so uneasy about this? For some reason, this feeling, which had helped him avoid numerous crises over the years, was bothering him now. After pondering for a moment, Everett instructed, "Get Aquila to investigate. We can't afford to take this lightly." But Aquila is currently. Jerry had wanted to say Aquila was still being hunted. "He'll handle it." Everett waved his hand, signaling Jerry to make the contact. Jerry had no choice but to agree. Yes. Watching Jerry leave, Everett's eyes had a hint of darkness. He wouldn't act without being absolutely sure, especially since his chances were dwindling. With some of his people captured and other plans disrupted by Nicole, this was his only opportunity, and he couldn't afford any slip-ups. Meanwhile, after Patricia returned to Bay Corp, Ella briefed her on Doretta's actions. Patricia's eyes darkened. Doretta had already made her move, and Everett must have received the news by now. What did Nicole say? Ella glanced outside before lowering his voice. Patricia gave Ella a look. Her tone was carrying a warning as she said, "Nicole said that everything now depends on your performance." I suddenly feel a lot of pressure. This meant that the plan would only proceed smoothly if he acted correctly. Any mistake could spell trouble. Patricia slightly raised her eyebrows at Ella, as if to say, "As long as you know." "Good that you understand." The corners of Patricia's lips twitched almost imperceptibly. Seeing Patricia about to leave, Ella instinctively held her back. "Wait a moment. Is there something else?" Patricia asked, puzzled. "My mother. She invited you to dinner tonight," Ella said, his voice even lower. Patricia's expression stiffened slightly. "I think I'll pass." With the situation nearing its end, it was time to clarify her relationship with Ella to everyone. "Don't say no. How am I supposed to explain this to my mom?" Ella pleaded. Patricia, feeling awkward, reminded him, "Sooner or later she has to know. I think it's better to prepare your mother in advance." Continuing to visit Ella's home and pretending to be his partner would only deepen the misunderstanding, making it harder to explain later. "We can't afford any changes right now. Even the slightest shift could jeopardize the plan," Ella insisted. Deep down, Ella knew that they couldn't keep their situation a secret much longer, but selfishly, he thought, if we can sustain it for one more day, then why not? He was aware that this was all a dream for him, and there would come a time to wake up, so he wished to dream a little longer. Patricia looked at Ella, her lips slightly bitten in hesitation, unsure of what to do. Then came a knock at the door, and both of them turned to look. Ella, Patricia. Doretta stood at the doorway, hesitating as if wanting to come in but appearing somewhat awkward. "What is it?" Ella internally clenched his teeth but maintained a neutral tone. "It's about some work." Doretta glanced toward Patricia, seeming a bit troubled. Understanding the cue, Patricia looked at Ella. "I'll step out then." "Then what we were discussing is settled," Ella quickly added. Patricia gave Ella a look, but couldn't refuse in front of Doretta, so she left. Ella's lips curled slightly. He took that as Patricia agreeing. "Ella, what were you guys talking about?" Doretta asked with apparent curiosity. Observing Doretta's seemingly innocent expression, as if she was just asking casually, Ella's eyes narrowed slightly. He knew this innocence was just a facade. The real Doretta wasn't like this. "My mom invited Patricia over for dinner tonight," Ella responded as if it was just a casual remark. "Oh, is that so?" Doretta then shifted the conversation. "I came to find Ella because the client I've been leading on that project was very satisfied and expressed interest in signing the contract. They want to invite us to dinner tonight, so Ella..." "I won't go. You represent the company," Ella shrugged. "As you can see, I already have plans. But the client specifically requested to meet you," Doretta pressed, somewhat troubled. Ella smiled. "I believe you are fully capable on your own." Doretta bit her lip, seeming to ponder for a moment before reluctantly agreeing. "All right then. Okay." After Ella responded, he returned to his desk and sat down, ready to work. Seeing this, Doretta said goodbye and left. Ella sneered quietly. He knew Doretta had come to probe for information and was also aware that Doretta's excuse for not coming home tonight was probably to meet with someone named Hexton, likely to report back on his situation. In that case, why not? An idea flashed through Ella's mind, and he pressed the intercom to make a call. Following that, the entire secretarial department became busy, with documents being brought in and out. The atmosphere in the company grew more tense. The end of the workday approached at Riddle Corporation. Nicole, who would have thought Ella could be so resourceful? "It's a waste he's not an actor," Lulu chuckled, shaking her head. "But it must have been hard on his secretaries, being so busy." "It's all fake documents, so it shouldn't be too busy," Nicole shrugged, indicating that the hustle was only for show. "It's tough on those secretaries to play along with Ella's act," Lulu remarked. After organizing the files on her desk, Nicole stood up. Doretta must have made a move, prompting Ella to act this way. "I heard Doretta isn't coming home tonight, probably off to report to her master," Lulu said with a look of disdain. "Oh," Nicole nodded, a glint of understanding in her eyes. As it was about time, the two of them continued talking while leaving the office. "Is Jared picking you up later?" Lulu casually asked. "Yeah, we're going to pick up Nolan and Lana," Nicole replied with a light smile. Lulu remembered. "Oh right, Stanley and Tia went to take their pre-wedding photos." The two were finally getting their happily ever after, and another joyful event was being prepared at home. Leaving the company, Jared was waiting for Nicole, but Spencer hadn't arrived yet. Lulu said, "You go ahead. I'll wait a bit longer. Spencer should be here soon." "All right." After agreeing, Nicole got into the car and left first. The car started and headed toward the kindergarten. After watching Nicole drive off, Lulu looked down the street, waiting. After a while, Spencer's car arrived. "Sorry, there was some trouble on the road, so it got a bit jammed," Spencer explained after parking. Lulu got into the car, smiling lightly. "It's okay. I haven't been waiting long. Where do you want to go for dinner?" Spencer asked Lulu. Lulu thought for a moment and then suggested, "How about we go home? We can invite June and Samuel over too." "That works," Spencer agreed. Lulu took out her phone and called June, inviting June and Samuel to join them at the Riddle residence. Meanwhile, Nicole and Jared arrived at the kindergarten to pick up Nolan and Lana. After getting Nolan and Lana into the car, Nicole instructed, "Let's go." "Yes," Max replied, starting the car to leave. "Mommy, what's wrong?" Despite Nicole's effort to remain calm, Nolan sensed that something was off with his mommy's mood. Nicole gently touched Nolan's head and said, "It's nothing. We're going home." While speaking, Nicole discreetly glanced through the rearview mirror and saw Lawrence getting into his car, her eyes narrowing slightly. Nicole hadn't expected Lawrence to come to the kindergarten. Even though he kept his distance, not disturbing Nolan and Lana or letting them notice him, his presence still unsettled her. Nolan was a sensitive child, and if Lawrence's visits became frequent, it might be hard to prevent Nolan from noticing. Moreover, Nicole wondered about Lawrence's intentions. Is he just checking on the kids? Or does he have other plans? Surely, he won't harm Nolan and Lana. As these thoughts raced through her mind, Nicole's demeanor grew colder. Mommy, are you thinking about work? Lana, sensing something was off, looked up at Nicole with concern. No, it's nothing. Nicole forced a smile, pinched Lana's cheek to change the subject, and asked, Do you feel like Mommy's been neglecting you? Lana tilted her head. No, it just seemed like Mommy was worried about something. With a soft smile, Nicole hugged Lana. Mommy was just thinking about some things, but it's all okay now. Oh. Lana seemed convinced by Nicole's words. Nolan gave Nicole a look but didn't say anything, though he didn't seem entirely convinced. Nicole shook her head with a smile, looking up at Jared. Jared gently squeezed Nicole's hand, offering comfort. Nicole nodded, understanding that she might have been overthinking and becoming unnecessarily anxious. Near the kindergarten, after getting into his car, Lawrence didn't leave immediately. He had only intended to see the children, not expecting Nicole and Jared to be the ones picking up Nolan and Lana. Sir, do you think Nicole might suspect anything? Ian asked, concerned. Probably not. Lawrence's gaze darkened slightly, but he still instructed Ian, let's have our people be more cautious. Even though the relationship between him and Nicole was a silent understanding of their mutual antagonism, at this moment, Lawrence still did not wish to directly reveal himself as Nicole's adversary. Yes, I will, Ian responded. Leaning back in his seat, Lawrence asked, How's that fool Everett doing? Thinking himself clever, yet in the end, Everett still suffered great losses. There hasn't been any movement yet, but it should be soon. After all, he can't wait much longer, Ian speculated. Lawrence hummed lightly, acknowledging that indeed, Everett could wait no longer. Sir, about Aquila. Ian's expression turned serious. He knew Aquila was a formidable figure, one that they, too, needed to be wary of. A shadow passed through Lawrence's eyes, his expression growing colder. He hadn't expected Everett to have enlisted Aquila's loyalty. No wonder Everett dared to be so brazen. Although I've arranged for people to watch him, we've never succeeded, not daring to follow too closely for fear of revealing our identities to Aquila, Ian admitted, finding the situation tricky. While they wanted to uncover Aquila's background, it wasn't easy. No need to rush. Someone will investigate for us, Lawrence said meaningfully. Everyone knew of Aquila's capabilities. His people were worried about exposure, naturally hampering their actions, making investigations harder, but it wouldn't stop them from learning the outcome. Realizing Lawrence's implication, Ian had an epiphany. Right, sir, you're correct. They might not uncover it themselves, but they could wait for the outcome. Let's go, Lawrence commanded calmly. Yes. Ian started the car and left the kindergarten. Lawrence's gaze shifted to the window, his brooding eyes revealing nothing of his thoughts. Nicole and Jared's car entered the Riddle residence. Noticing the vehicles in the courtyard, Nicole raised an eyebrow. Looks like Lulu and June are back. It's uncles and their wives. Nolan and Lana recognized Spencer and Samuel's cars as well. Entering the living room, the lively atmosphere instantly lifted everyone's spirits. You're back, Lulu greeted as she saw Nicole and Jared arrive with Nolan and Lana. Nolan and Lana politely greeted everyone. Nolan, Lana, look how tall you've gotten, Lulu and June observed, clearly delighted. It seemed to them that the children had grown a lot since their last visit. The family gathered, chatting in a warm and lively atmosphere. While they were talking, Stanley and Tia also returned. Seeing so many people at home, the couple paused in surprise. You're all here, Stanley remarked, somewhat unexpectedly. Is there something going on at home? Today was your pre-wedding photo shoot, right? How did it go? Are you satisfied? Lulu asked, turning to Tia. As long as Tia was happy, Lulu figured Stanley would be too. Satisfied? Tia blushed slightly, her voice softening. It really went well, but it was indeed tiring, Stanley commented, guiding Tia to the couch. Sit down and rest for a bit. After pouring her some water and handing her the glass, he said, "Drink some water." "Thank you." Tia took the glass and sipped. It might have been a bit tiring, but it's all worth it when you're in good spirits, right?" Lulu said, looking for confirmation from Tia. Tia nodded, a soft blush tinting her cheeks, as she responded, "Yes." Lulu's observations were spot on. Despite a hint of fatigue, Tia's spirits remained high throughout the day. The idea of marrying Stanley had once seemed distant, almost surreal. But now, here they were, immersed in the reality of their pre-wedding photo shoot. Clad in her elegant bridal gown and him in his sharp suit, they stood before a mirror. It was in this moment, gazing at their joint reflection, that the weight of their imminent union truly settled on her, filling her with a profound sense of togetherness and anticipation. "We came back today to share in your happiness," June said, laughing and joking. "This is the happiest thing for our family lately. Stanley, you're getting married soon. Shouldn't you take us all out for a big meal?" Samuel teased with a laugh. "Okay, what does everyone feel like eating?" "Just let me know," Stanley replied. Seizing the moment, Samuel suggested, "How about we go to the Selim at San Giotto Tower?" Stanley looked at Tia, then nodded. "Sure, let's plan for this weekend." Samuel was surprised. "You're really okay with it?" He didn't think Stanley would actually say yes. "Why not?" Stanley looked at him, hinting. "Do you think I'm that cheap?" "With everyone in agreement," Spencer confirmed. "So, it's decided." "Agreed," Stanley said once more. "It's dinner time," Gloria announced, getting everyone's attention before asking Tia, "Could you please invite Mrs. Wallace Sr. to join us? With so many of us here, it'll be more fun." "Of course," Tia said, standing up to go to the backyard. Soon, Tia came back, wheeling Mrs. Wallace Sr. into the dining room. The whole family was there, having a fun and lively dinner, filled with laughter and happy chats. Patricia had also wrapped up her dinner at the Ella residence. Ella, courteous as ever, escorted her out and offered a ride, opening the car door for her. "I'll drive you back." Patricia, however, insisted on independence. "No need, I can get back on my own." Yet, despite her refusal, the weight of Emma's increasingly suspicious gaze lingered unsettlingly with her. Unperturbed, Ella gently coaxed her into the car, securing the door behind her before settling into the driver's seat himself. "Ella, I have other things to attend to. You really shouldn't bother," Patricia protested, her brow furrowed with concern. "I can accompany you," Ella offered calmly, already starting the car. As they drove off, Ella ventured, "You're going to check on Doretta, aren't you?" It was the only thing that made sense if she claimed to have urgent matters to attend to. Patricia offered a silent nod in agreement, her mind undoubtedly on Doretta, who hadn't returned home that evening. She was probably with Hexton, Ella's contact, likely scheming their next steps. Ella soon parked the car discreetly near their destination, the meeting place of Doretta and Hexton. Proceeding any closer by car would risk drawing unwanted attention. Stealthily, they approached the restaurant on foot, concealing themselves behind a tree. Through the windows, they caught sight of an unexpected figure. Everett. The name nearly escaped Ella's lips in shock. A sharp look from Patricia silenced him. Covering his mouth, he peered through the glass, his eyes mirroring his shock at seeing Doretta with Everett. Doretta's effectiveness was clear. She had quickly earned Everett's trust, to the point where he was the one meeting her tonight. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, Doretta faced Everett with composed assurance, expressing her surprise. "I didn't expect Mr. Wright to come personally."
If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.